He loves bath time.
He's always ready to play.
He loves going for walks.
Usually smiley.
He loves every time when Dad gets home from work.
I'd say he loves his mom. His face lights up every time she walks in the room or he hears her voice.
When he was 2 months old, we found out William was diagnosed with Pearson Syndrome. There's no words to describe how hard it is to find out that your son has something that's likely life-limiting. My pregnancy, there was no complications. Everything was normal from the time I found out until I went into labor. I was a little bit late and they induced me. And during that time, they realized that his heartbeat wasn't handling labor well. And so they did an emergency C-section. And almost immediately they realized that there was something else wrong with William.
So William was diagnosed when he was 2 months old with something called Pearson Syndrome, which is a rare mitochondrial genetic disorder discovered in 1979. There's only been around 100 cases since its discovery. Pearson Syndrome is a multi-system disorder. It's caused by a deletion in William's mitochondrial DNA. Mitochondria are kind of the power plants of every cell in your body. And so since he's missing some genetic material, his mitochondria have some trouble making energy for his body.
When the doctors told us of William's diagnosis, they basically told us to take him home and love him. There is no cure for Pearson syndrome. There is no treatment. It's to fix things as they fail.
Pearson syndrome could go on to affect things like his pancreas, his eyes, his ears, liver, kidneys, and brain.
He is going to get worse. Something is going to fail. Something is going to go wrong in the future. And he seems so perfect right now, and there's nothing that we can do medically that exists right now to help him.
Our goal is to cut that off before those other systems get affected and keep him at this relatively healthy state he's in now. Very soon after we found out about William's diagnosis, she immediately wanted to start a foundation, wanted to do something to get the research going, because there's not a lot happening right now. But for something so rare, it's kind of the classic orphan disease problem that there's not funding available when there's only 40 or 50 kids in the world with it. Our goal with the CHAM Foundation is to let the smartest researchers interested in Pearson syndrome tackle the problem. The CHAM Foundation has approved one grant so far to one researcher who's going to see if some genetic editing tools can be applied to mitochondria and Pearson syndrome specifically. Researchers need dollars for equipment and salaries, and the research often follows the dollars. We firmly believe that with generous support that researchers can figure out how to beat Pearson syndrome. And research toward a cure is our hope, is William's only hope, and is the only hope for kids with Pearson syndrome today.